welcome to the Dryftwood Round-to-it.
Howdy, y'all.
Yeah, we're on here. We're gonna talk a little bit about episode 13 that we just released. It was called Time Travel Paradox. We're gonna talk a little bit about some of the things that we talk about on there. Hope you guys will go check it out.
Awesome show art.
But Dryftwood, get around to it. Yeah. So episode 13. David, what do you got on episode 13?
Right, so yeah, as the title suggested, we started off with time travel and moved through paradoxes and came back to time travel. And
okay, so I know some of this stuff may seem wacky for some of y'all to consider thinking about, like it's far out there, but it's really not that serious. The conversations are not that serious. It's just far out to consider, right? Just conversations, leisure time conversations, if you will.
Right.
So
right.
don't take it so serious. There's a lot of comedy humor in it as well.
Basically, it's we take really heavy, serious subjects and approach them in a light flow, a light-hearted way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can be funny sometimes.
We're not that funny, but we don't even try to be. But the conversations aren't that serious. So
right.
Just get on there, give it a listen. Yeah. But one of the other things that we're talked about in there is there's some references made to angels and bandits, and then some correlation between them possibly being the same thing.
Yeah, there's some nuance to all that.
Yeah. All right. What else did we talk about?
So we talked about this whole thing of people living off planet.
Yeah.
And how that would...
how it would work living off planet. Then we talked about the 100 and Xenon Girl of the 21st Century, which David scoffed at because he's not a preteen.
Still scoffing. I'm not done scoffing yet.
But we talk about what it might be like to try and live on a space station and what you would need to live on that.
Right.
And some of the other things that are being brought up on the conversations that we're having are, I don't know, they're just really off the wall sometimes, like vans.
Well, I'll tell you what, we do come up with some important points sometimes, like, for instance, the need for a maintenance schedule.
Yeah,
But no, back to the 100, we mentioned something that relates to War of the Worlds. See if you can spot it.
Hello, Justine.
Oh, hi.
War of the Worlds. What were you saying?
Yeah, no. One thing we touched on, like if they came back to Earth, they'd all get sick and die.
Oh yeah. And then also we talk about if we go back in time and we mess up the timeline, then we just kind of have to keep messing up the whole timeline because, well, there's no other timeline. So
yeah, basically we talked about a lot of destruction, I think.
Yeah, I think we were pretty destructful in our thoughts. So. And we talk about the Socratic method.
Except for the maintenance schedule. That was
the maintenance schedule, yeah. David talks about you can't live in space if you don't have a maintenance schedule for your space station, which is valuable information. But when budget cuts happen, maintenance department usually is first to get those budget cuts.
And you know that firsthand.
Sometimes, sometimes. Also, we talk about nosy neighbors.
Oh, yeah. And mining the moon.
Experts at loopholing. There's 2 experts in loopholing.
Well, 3, right?
3.
The accountants was one.
Oh, yeah. Accountants, lawyers. What was the third
Politicians.
one? Politicians.
They're just expert loopholers.
Expert loopholers. So that is what we have deducted it down to. So the expert loopholers are the ones that are in control of the situation.
Right, yep.
So we talk about, again, the Socratic method. And also, if we were able to go back in time and just view things that are happening, the legal system wouldn't exist anymore.
Right.
So that would put an end to the legal system and things like that. And then we talked about how that would change the crime, and the crime would possibly be more online or digital as opposed to a physical crime or so on and so forth. Something where you couldn't go back in time and see who did what.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could go back enough times to different scenarios and maybe eventually find it, but it'd take a really long time and a lot of resources.
Another redo.
Yeah. All right, well, so, hello, wife.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
How long has this video been so far?
I have no idea because it doesn't show anywhere on there as far as I can see.
It probably does, but I can't see very well right now because we're like, the sun's hitting the screen.
Well, one thing I want to comment on the last episode, and I promise we will have one episode eventually that does not talk about COVID. because we got through all of 13. Luckily, got through all of 13 to the very end, and Daniel brings up COVID. So, but no, it was an interesting point about that.
We're at 5 minutes, cool.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, all right. So I bring up COVID, but the reason I bring up COVID is to talk about the people that were protesting and demonstrating to try and get back to work. Well, I mean, I was just giving an argument from both sides, stating that I understand the reasons why people would want to do that, and screw everybody else. I don't want to care about their health. I need to worry about my family being fed. So I understand that 100%. So we allude to that in the end, but yeah. If you guys check it out, check out episode 13, but you must go check out the first episode, see the first one that we got started on, and then check out some of the ones in between. You don't have to listen to all of them. Some of them are kind of trash, to be completely honest with you.
Oh, but 14 and 15.
14 and 15 are interesting.
I'm pretty sure there'll be some people really interested in that.
Yeah, so
yeah, we're taking job applications.
Yeah, we try and break down what it would take to rebuild a civilization successfully, or what we think would be successful, and it's a pretty interesting conversation that's really hard to have.
It's a big debate. It turned into a 2-episode debate. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Also, please share the video, share the podcast, share whatever. Help us get a growing audience, so that way we can
definitely want to try and grow our audience.
We want to grow our audience. We want to have a little bit more discussion. Check us out on our town hall, Dryftwood Podcast Town Hall. You can check us out on our website, thedriftwoodpodcast.com, Instagram, Twitter, all of it. If you have any questions with how to find it or whatever. But we love you guys. Thanks for watching, and please continue to share, like, comment, all of the fun stuff. Thank you guys.